This is the Domain Magnate Show, where you'll learn everything you need to know about buying, optimizing, and selling online businesses with your host, Michael Beroslavsky.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Domain Magnate Show. And today we have our team from Dealflow Brokerage. And we want to introduce ourselves and tell a little bit more about what Dealflow Brokerage is. And Dealflow Brokerage is a company that's been around for more than 7 years now and is an M&A advisor, and they specialize in brokering established online businesses. So today we'd like to tell a little bit more about how this works. And first, we'll do a quick introduction of our team. So I am a partner on strategy in Dealflow Brokerage. And my job is basically to make sure that companies developing in the right path, that we are growing, that we are able to provide great services to our clients. And I've personally been around the industry for about 15 years now, buying, selling, and also brokering some businesses. And I'm happy to be able to contribute my experience to it. Jamie is our CEO. Jamie, tell us a little about yourself.
Sure. I started about 7 years ago. I got a job straight out of business school. I was studying an entrepreneurship program there at RMIT in Melbourne, Australia, and started working at Flipper, brokering some deals under a brand called Dealflow. And yeah, I just sort of fell in love with, I guess, the space, the way that, people all over the world are using lifestyles for themselves. So yeah, 7 years later, here I am.
Thank you, Jamie. And Colton is a partner on business development. Hi, Colton.
Hi there. So thanks for the intro. I actually met Jamie, Nick, and Kevin some years ago. It was 2016. I flew down to San Francisco to get to know them at the office, Flipper's office in San Francisco, and joined to be an account manager. And so I learned a lot from these guys when they were the brokers leading Dealflow there in San Francisco. I think Kevin at the time was a domain broker, so I learned a bit from him as well, and got a sense of how the industry works and started to apply that. And once I kind of went out on my own, I did a little bit of brokering, but I also took an interest in the due diligence side and assisting with buy-side deals. So kind of got a full spectrum experience with that. And now when it comes to Dealflow Brokerage and our activity, I mostly focus on working with buyers to help them set their criteria and, take a proactive approach to finding those assets on the market. And also we do a lot of talking with potential partners, and that's what I focus on.
Awesome. And now Nick, our senior advisor.
Hi, my name is Nick Brown. I started working for Dealflow when it was still part of Flippa in San Francisco with Jamie, Colton, and Kevin. I joined right after graduating from business school. I got my MBA at University of Florida, and I started as an account manager with really no background in the brokerage or web domain space. So it was a really great learning experience being an account manager. And I've been here for 5 years and really became very interested, and I really like working with all the clients all around the world, getting to know their businesses and them personally and helping them exit at the price that they want.
Thank you, Nick. And Kevin, another senior M&A advisor.
Thanks, Michael. It seems like I've met all of you in my past life in the domain name space. I was director of domains at Flippa from 2014 on. That's where I met Jamie and Nick, and then later Colton. But I think, Michael, you might have been a customer, if I remember correctly. That I worked with fairly closely at times. So it's interesting that it's come full circle. But that's my sort of background, which I'm still loosely involved in. And I've been an M&A advisor just shy of 2 years with Dealflow. The reason I prefer business side of the sort of exit, if you will, is the seller history and the seller story. There's so much that goes into building a business and running a business, and the exit in particular can be kind of fraught with as sort of an emotional roller coaster. And we are the stewards of that sort of journey that a seller will embark on. And it's been really rewarding to be able to help so many people exit, but it's also really fun to kind of learn more about people's businesses and what goes into it, what goes on behind the scenes, and trials and tribulations and such that they've overcome.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. Yeah, absolutely. It's been interesting because we've all been in that same industry for many years now and have interacted with each other for some time, even before we've joined forces last year. And so now that we've done a quick introduction, we want to tell you a little bit more about Dealflow Brokerage and also provide some advice for buyers and sellers and a quick view of the industry. So myself personally, I've been mostly involved on the buying side, and which is where my main expertise are. And having done hundreds of deals, I would say that this is also my favorite part of the business, like looking at the deals and negotiating and buying it. And I think that now then, and we are recording this in June 2020, with the global economy in a bit of a recession due to the COVID pandemic. And we are seeing that many people are looking to sell their businesses, and they are seeing that the industry is changing. So it's still a bit difficult to predict how it's going to look in the next few years or decades. But we are definitely seeing some major changes, and now more than ever, it's important to work with professionals to help you sell your business, to help you prepare your business for sale, and also advise you how to find a great deal, how to do due diligence, and how to conduct a transaction professionally. So on that note, we want to give you some further advice. Jamie, what would you want to offer as advice?
Yeah, sure. I mean, all the classic stuff really, but if obviously businesses, are a lot more sellable and sell for high multiples when they're performing well, and obviously in this time of recession, it's tricky. A lot of businesses aren't performing at their best. So yeah, transparency is really important, and just working with a broker a couple of months out, at least, to sort of get everything in the right position for sale is my number one sort of advice.
Sounds good. Thank you. Colton, what would you say a little bit about why Dealflow Brokerage is something people should, why we are the brand that people should choose among the other M&A advisors?
Sure. To follow on what Jamie said, we really look at the entire spectrum of ownership of one of these assets. So I speak to a lot of different kinds of investors, whether it's individuals or it's people who are working with small private equity firms, family offices, and generally speaking, there is a need for low risk and a pretty high return. That's why anybody, I should say, relatively low risk within this space. That's why anybody gets involved with it. So what we want to do is help people proactively identify what their ideal acquisition might be, and then provide them the resources and the connections that be necessary to have a good plan for the 6 to 12 months after they purchase it, to really increase that value and be more certain of recovering their investment when they work with us. And one of the ways that we do that, and that I'm really focused on right now, is developing partnerships with top tier service providers within this space. So if you're watching or listening to this and you're thinking, hey, I might not be ready to buy or sell, but I provide really great marketing services, copywriting services, accounting for people who work remotely, please, by all means, feel free to reach out to me directly, and we have to talk about that too.
Thank you, Colton. Nick?
Yeah, I think my biggest piece of advice is, and I can't really overstate the importance of exit planning. As Jamie mentioned a little bit earlier, a lot of times we'll have sellers who have had a lot of success with their business, but maybe it's on a downward trend, and they come and they want to sell when the business has had 3 bad months in a row. So I would recommend and really place a high premium on the exit planning. And fortunately, Dealflow offers an exit planning service because this would allow you to make sure your financials are in order. You have them separated from your personal accounts. You have the contracts ready to be transferred to a new buyer. It's really all the things that go into selling the business, and you work with a broker like myself or Kevin, and we can tell you what we think are issues with the business, or what we think is a good selling point about the business, and really have this discussion and this relationship growing a few months before you're ready to sell, because I think that would help us and you exit at the price that you want.
Thank you, Nick. Kevin?
Back to this seller story, as I was talking about in my intro, I think most important thing I've learned in working with sellers, what I sort of prefer to advise them up front is no business runs entirely without a hitch. There's always going to be something that comes up, some sort of speed bump, if you will. So in the exit process, when we're getting the listing ready to launch, I try to impart on the seller that just the importance of being transparent and open about anything that might have happened. You know, if there's a downturn in traffic or revenue for whatever reason, just being really upfront about that. The buyer appreciates it, and it's probably going to come out in due diligence at some point anyway. So it's really good to sort of spin that story and really turn it into a positive as an opportunity for a buyer, but also to show how the seller might have handled that incident, or, you know, any sort of adversity that they experienced in running the business. And it creates a good rapport between the buyer and seller as well.
Thank you, Kevin, and thanks everyone. So there you go. This is our team at Dealflow Brokerage, and you're welcome to learn more by going to dealflowbrokerage.com, and also you can get a quick free evaluation through dealflowbrokerage.com/sell. Or if you are looking to buy a business, go to dealflowbrokerage.com/buy and join our list. And we are happy to quickly advise you on how you should proceed with your sale or purchase and work with you on your next acquisition or exit. Thank you.
Domain Magnate is a leader in buying and selling online businesses with a proven track record of expertise gained from over 300 deals since 2004. To learn more about how we can help you acquire or exit a profitable online business today, head over to domainmagnate.com for more details.